it's Wendy Alane Wright, Hollywood Talent Manager in Los Angeles, California. Glad to have you here on my channel. If you're new, I've been a manager for many years, and I come here on YouTube and I teach you things that you need to do to build your acting career, and I help you prevent mistakes that new actors make, and there are a lot of them, and I really don't want to see you fail just because you don't know what you're doing. So that's why I come here and I teach you what I know from my many years of experience in this business. Now, today I'm talking to you about when should you drop your agent or manager? How should you go about doing that? What's the right way to do that? And so let's get into that. There are many reasons why you might want to drop an agent or manager, and there's some very valid reasons, okay? If you are reaching out to them and trying to communicate and they never respond to you, that's a good reason to drop them. Like, why do you need to be with someone who's not responding to you? You're supposed to be working as a team with that agent or that manager. Now, if you are just figuring out, okay, well, what's the difference, Wendy, between an agent or manager? An agent is like an employment agency, and their job is to find you work, negotiate your contract, and close the deal. So if you went to like Apple One, let's say, and you were looking for a job as a secretary or an accountant or an assistant or something, they would take your resume, then they would send that out to all of their clients who are looking for employees, and when they found a match, they'd set up an interview, and then they would talk with them about the salary, they would discuss that with you, then they would close the deal, the contract, and you would be employed. Now that's what a talent agency does. They have a license from the state as an employment agency. That's their license. Managers, very different. The role of a manager is typically to develop. I'm thinking about it because I know managers are shifting their jobs a lot these days. But listen, the original role of a manager was to develop an actor. So let's say you went to a play and you saw like an amazing actor and you thought, now that would be an actor that I would absolutely love to represent and work with. And you would talk to them and you find out, maybe they just started or they don't have an agent yet. You see a lot of potential in them and you're like, yes, I can develop them. Stars should be floating around my head because that's literally when you're a developmental manager like me, that's like the most exciting day of your life. When you find some new potential talent that has all the raw goods and they just need to be steered in the right direction, get into the right training, develop their materials, and then you introduce them to agents and you start getting them auditions, and then they take off and fly. Right? All right. But managers' jobs are changing a little bit. These days, managers are starting to act like agents. And that means that they are working like employment agencies. They're looking for jobs for clients. They are negotiating contracts and closing deals. So if they're doing that and the agent is doing that, who's developing the actors? Yeah, that's a problem. And that's why I stepped in. You're welcome. I stepped in because I get submissions all day long, month after month, year after year, for people who want to have representation. And I look at those emails and I go, oh my God, this is the worst submission I've ever seen. No offense to the actor, but they just haven't been taught what to do. Nobody has developed them, so they're sending what they think they need to send. They don't know what agents and managers are looking for. They don't even know the difference between agents and managers, and why would you? Unless you were raised by a manager or agent, how would you know all this stuff? So you would just put your resume. I've had literally people send me their banking resume, like they worked at a bank, and then before that they worked at the restaurant, and it's like, that's not what we're looking for when we say resume. But you don't know that, so perfect example. I got a submission this week from an actor who wants representation. I tell you, every single thing that could be done wrong was done wrong in his submission. First of all, the email was way too long. I would have thrown that out the minute I started reading the biography that was going on there. It was like on and on and on and on. Okay, we need to get right to the point. 2, his headshots didn't look anything like he looks right now. He included a monologue, a self-tape monologue, and he is like 10 years older than his pictures. So the pictures and the headshots didn't match the acting clip. That's an issue. What else? He had such bad acting clips, like they were on the other person, they were the back of his head, the side of his head, and they were on IMDb Pro, which is where the entire industry can see. So many problems. His resume was formatted all wrong. He didn't know how to credit television roles. He put extra work on it. I mean, the list goes on and on. Now, if he had someone developing him, they would have not allowed him to make any of those mistakes and then send that out to people looking for representation. So that's why a manager is so important. But here's the catch-22. If you're brand spanking new and you don't have any experience whatsoever, a manager is not likely interested in taking on someone so new that they don't have training, they don't have any experience at all. But that's when you need the development the most. So stay tuned to this channel and pay attention and watch the videos and take notes, because I give you a whole lot of information in these videos to help you not be overlooked in this business. Now, when should you leave your reps? Well, if you have a manager who's not developing you at all, they're like not even helping you pick out your headshots. They're not even looking at your actor's access and saying, look, these photos, I think you need a couple of other photos like this. Why don't you take this acting clip down that doesn't serve you? You've had 3 years of training since then and your acting is so much better. Let's get something that's more current up there. Let's make your resume more streamlined so we can show casting how we want you to get cast. Like if you want to do lead roles, let's get all those at the top. If you're trying to become a series regular, like let's not have everything be co-star, 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 and your guest star at the bottom. There's strategies, right? And your manager should be helping you with all of these things. Now, yeah, we could say agents are too damn busy to do this, and mostly they are, but some really do take an interest in making sure their packages, their clients' packages are really strong. So that being said, yes, it's okay to leave a rep that's not giving you time, energy, and attention, especially a manager, because their job is supposed to be to develop you. An agent, on the other hand, often will hope you figure that shit out on your own because they just do not have time. They have 500 clients they're trying to find employment for, and they're not in the business of teaching you the business. That's why I'm here. If you're new to this business and you don't have any guidance, join my Facebook group, Talent Managers for Actors. And that's a free Facebook group. We have about 111,000 actors this week and 150 agents and managers that are friends of mine who pop in and answer questions. In fact, I'm going to tell you something that a couple of my friends who are reps said today, and I'll paraphrase, even though I really like to read word for word whenever I tell somebody something. But I will just say, an actor said, I have a rep right now, and I'm looking for a new rep. Should I tell the rep I'm with that I want to leave and look for a new rep? Or should I just not say anything at all to my current agent or manager and go look for a new one? And then after I get a new one, then tell my rep that I'm leaving? That's a good question. And I like that she cared enough about her ethics to ask that question. So a couple different reps that I'm very good friends with, Tabitha Kitt. Tabitha is at Kitt Talent International. And she's basically saying your agent is always looking for work for you. So if you're off looking for another rep and that agent is busy looking for work for you and you're leaving, that's just a waste of the agent's time. Don't do that. She's also saying don't lie about it. Whenever you lie about it, people find out. And agents are friends with each other and they call and talk to each other. So it just gives you a bad reputation when you lie about stuff. Let's see what else she says. Talk to your agent before you decide to leave. Talk to your manager. Try to work it out first. If you feel like you're not getting enough time and attention, have some, I'm just adding to this, but have some reasonable expectations. If your agent is really, really busy and you want them to talk to you about something that's not necessary, that's not them not giving you attention. That's you not knowing that you should figure that out on your own. You don't know the difference, so you might be bothering them about stuff that they don't want to be bothered by. And sometimes they ignore you when you do that. So you got to know the difference between what are offenses that you should leave for and what are things you should contact your agent for. And maybe I'll do that in another video. Also, she's saying that agents and managers work for free. Remember that, have respect for that, and be honest about that. I mean, tell your rep that you'd like to work out some issues that you have, and if they're not willing to, you're going to take some meetings. And if they drop you because of that, that's not the agent for you anyway. They should want to fix the issues, and especially if they value you as a client. She says if they refuse to schedule a time to chat, why would you want to keep them on your team anyway? Good point, Tabitha. I'm going to also tell you that she says agents often have a lot of fear that they'll do a lot of work for you for free and then you're just going to leave. So remember that. I tell you, agents and managers worry about that because we sign you, we work for free, we submit you to tons and tons of jobs, most of which you don't get, but we're still doing the work, and you only book once in a while, and we only earn a little bit of money on those bookings unless you book something really great, pay $70,000 an episode, and then we make our money, right? So we all worry about people hopping around from agent to agent to agent. They get a little bit here and go somewhere else, and all that work the agent did for you, they don't make any money on your future success. Okay, Nicole Boardman Benitez, who's also a friend of mine and a talent agent, she said, spot on Tabitha, of course, ask your current agents to take a meeting. FaceTime, Zoom, and send over your emailed questions. So if you have questions for your rep, email them, and then maybe get on the phone, Zoom, FaceTime, and talk about your questions. And then preface the conversation, I think this is very smart, Nicole, with what can you, like you say, hi agent, what could I be doing to become more marketable for you, my hardworking rep who works for free? Are there things that they are seeing in the market, any current trends that, you maybe need some better reels or other clips or other headshots or something that's going on in that market? Are there more slower times, pilot season, summertime? Like, is there anything going on that, you should know about? And asking for a submission report. Now, you guys I should do that in a whole other video when I might, but a submission report is a record, a digital record of every single thing you've been submitted for. And your agent just pushes one button to pull up your name and 2, print report. So if they say, oh my God, that's just too difficult for us, we have 7 million clients, no, they have assistants. The assistant can easily print out that report. And why do you need that report? Well, some actors, I want to check on my agent and see what they're doing. Listen, your agent's working for free. If they don't get you auditions, they don't make a penny. Why bother with you if they're not going to make any money, right? You shouldn't be doing it to check on your agent, because if they have you on their roster, they're most likely trying to get you work. You should do that to figure out which casting directors are seeing your face and your submission on a regular basis and why they're not calling you in. We need to figure that out. If you've been submitted 60 times on your submission report to the same 5 offices and none of them are calling you in, we got to figure out what the problem is, right? What's the problem? Sometimes training with one of the casting directors you see on your submission report will help you get in the room. If they have a class or something, like a 2-4 week class, it helps you get in there with them. You get to start a personal relationship with them and you get some feedback from them, and that might help you as you move forward auditioning and being submitted for that casting director in the future. Never ask your reps for a submission report every month. They're not going to do it. Once or twice a year, max. Okay. Another thing that she says is, we are working around the clock for talent and we want you auditioning and booking, and we will do whatever we can to help. But without honest communication, it feels shady when talent is searching for a new rep because of XYZ that they haven't even talked to us about, right? We truly take every relationship to heart, Nicole says, and we want you to succeed. What a caring agent she is. I love these agents, and here comes one of my 3rd favorite agents, Angie Seeger-Jones. She runs Signature Model and Talent. Now, she says, sometimes when people meet with our team, I ask them if they're currently repped, or if they've been represented before, or if they're currently repped, why are they leaving? Why are they leaving? She says most of the time, the agent they want to leave has asked them to do something like get new headshots or do more training, and the actor won't do it. So she says, when I talk to them about these things, I tell them, I'm going to be asking the same thing. Angie says, I'm going to ask for new headshots and I'm going to ask for training. So she says, if your agents are asking you to update your materials, then please do it. And just sit there and don't update their materials, and it doesn't do anybody any good. She also says she doesn't like agent hopping, but you should leave if your agent is not responding to communications to solve the issue. All right, well, that's great. 3 different agents all say you should tell your rep that you want to find other representation, but only after you've tried to fix the situation between you. So look at the situation, see what you can do on your part to solve the problem first. If you look at your headshots and you only put those 2 free ones up there, we already have a problem. Your agent and manager needs a variety of headshots to submit you for different kinds of roles. So your part is to have great headshots in a variety of your most castable types, and have a variety of footage, really strong footage in your most castable types. And you should be submitting yourself for everything you write for, getting as many auditions on your own, and booking short films, non-union feature films, commercials, web series, industrials, anything that gets you on set, in front of the camera, and working. And this helps build your confidence and your resume. Now that's your part. And if your agent asks you, get new headshots, take more classes, update your profiles, don't sit on that for a month or 2 months. Get that done right away. Get it done right away. Because as long as your agent doesn't have what they need, they can't get you any results. So do your part. Now, let's say you're doing all your part and that fucking agent is never calling you back. And you're like, I've been with them a year. They never respond to my calls. I've got new headshots. They asked me to. But now when I'm asking them to look at them, it's been 2 months and they won't even find the time to look at them. That's a red flag. That's a problem. And you can make an email to them saying, look, I got new headshots and I've reached out to you twice and I want to set up a time to do that. And I would love to go over my package with you and see if there's anything that needs updating. If you have any suggestions about what I could do to help you so we can work as a team. If they don't answer that email, that's a problem. Then you call them or send an email that says, look, I've been trying to work out the issues between us and I'm not having any success getting a hold of you, so I'm going to start looking for new representation. Go look for your new representation. Your life does not depend on that agent or that manager. If those people quit the business and started an orphanage in Peru, you'd still have to have an acting career. So if you get dropped by your rep because you asked for honest communication, goodbye to you. Goodbye to you. Oh, get out of here. So do your part. Gently push them into communication with you. If you don't get anywhere, let them know you're leaving and go look for another rep. Don't sneak around behind people's backs. It's not kind. And you wouldn't want that done to you, so don't do it to them. That's my advice in this video, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like if this information is helpful to you. Any comments you have or questions, post below. I try to look at all those comments and questions, and I'll definitely answer them. Remember to join HWC if you are looking for ongoing training and you want to work with me. Take my online course at Hollywood Winner Circle Academy, Business Academy for Actors. And I'll see you in the next video.